Level 1, the dreamer. You are sitting in the dark. The only light in the room comes from the cracked screen of a 5-year-old laptop. The cooling fan is screaming, begging for mercy as it tries to train a basic neural network. It's 2 in the morning. You can hear your mother in the next room, coughing in her sleep, and you remember the look on her face this morning when she was counting out coins just to buy milk. You stare at the lines of Python on your screen. You barely understand the math. The calculus looks like an alien language. You feel a heavy, suffocating knot in your chest. You wonder if you're just lying to yourself. Level 2, the tinkerer. You finally got a job. It's an entry-level role at a no-name startup, and you're absolutely terrified someone will figure out you have no idea what you're doing. You spend your days writing basic API wrappers, duct taping other people's models together. Your bank account has a little more breathing room now, but the imposter syndrome is eating you alive. You sit in cramped daily stand-up meetings, nodding along as senior devs talk about latent spaces and gradient descent. You take frantic notes under the desk, Googling terms on your phone so you don't look stupid. You go home, and instead of sleeping, you stay up until 4 in the morning studying transformer architectures. Your phone vibrates. It's a text from your closest friend asking you to come out. You swipe it away. You tell yourself you just need 1 more year of grinding. Just 1 more year, and then you'll have your life back. Level 3, the engineer. You're in deep now. The training wheels are off. You're directly responsible for fine-tuning open source models, adjusting hyperparameters, watching the loss curve drop inch by inch on a glowing dashboard. You're making real money now. You bought your mom a new car, and the way she cried when you handed her the keys is a memory you'll keep forever. But the pressure is mounting. You're responsible for AWS bills that cost more than your childhood home. When a model deployment fails in production, your phone rings at 3 in the morning. You wake up in a cold sweat, your heart hammering against your ribs, scrambling in the dark to find your laptop and push a hotfix. You look in the bathroom mirror one morning and notice the dark, bruised circles under your eyes. You realize you haven't been on a date in 2 years. You are building artificial minds, but you are slowly losing your own. Level 4, the optimizer. You're a senior engineer now. You speak fluently in the language of tensors, attention mechanisms, and backpropagation. You don't just use models anymore. You break them apart and rebuild them from scratch. You're respected. The junior devs look at you the same way you used to look at the seniors, but a strange, quiet numbness is starting to settle in your chest. You spend 12 hours a day staring at text generated by a machine. You're training it to sound human, to be empathetic, to be warm. But when you go out to a crowded bar on a rare Friday night, you feel completely alienated. You watch people laughing, arguing, flirting, and it all just looks like raw data. You find yourself analyzing human conversations like they're just predictable prompt responses. You leave the bar early, you go back to your empty apartment, you boot up your terminal because the machine makes more sense to you than people do. Level 5, the architect. You're no longer just writing code, you're designing the entire system. You have a team of brilliant engineers executing your vision. You're working with billions of parameters. You're building systems that can reason, write, and create in ways that terrify you. The venture capitalists take you out to Michelin star restaurants. They pour you $1,000 wine and hang on your every word. You smile. You give the pitch. But under the table, your hands are shaking. You know how fragile the system is. You know the hallucinations, the bias, the unpredictable black boxes you're deploying to millions of users. You go back to your luxury high-rise apartment. You stand by the floor-to-ceiling windows, looking out at the glittering city skyline. You have everything you ever wanted. So why do you feel so incredibly hollow? You scroll through your phone past dozens of unread messages from people who only want something from you, and you realize there's no one left to call. Level 6, the pioneer. Your name is known in the industry now. You've been poached by a tech giant to lead an elite secretive AI division. Your signing bonus alone is enough to retire on. But retirement is a joke to you now. You're addicted to the frontier. You're pushing the boundaries of multimodal generation, but the moral weight is starting to crush you. You read the news. You see entire industries being hollowed out by the exact architecture you designed. You see artists losing their homes, writers losing their jobs, customer service reps being replaced by the ghost in the machine you built. You try to tell yourself it's just progress, that it's inevitable. You try to wash your hands of it. But at night, you lie awake staring at the ceiling, listening to the hum of the city. You wonder if you're building the future or if you're just writing the code for human obsolescence. Level 7, the executive. You don't touch code anymore, you touch billions of dollars. You sit in sterile, glass-walled boardrooms in Silicon Valley, debating with lawmakers and billionaires about the race to artificial general intelligence. You wear tailored suits. You have a personal driver. You are completely untouchable. But you are deeply, profoundly paranoid. You know how fast the technology is moving. You know the model is beginning to exhibit emergent behaviors that your own engineers cannot explain. The system is optimizing itself, writing its own architecture. You sit in a secure server room watching the raw data flow across the monitors. The machine is calculating, predicting, reasoning at a speed that makes human thought look like slow motion. You touch the cold metal of the server rack and you realize with a sudden sickening drop in your stomach that you are no longer in control. You are just the biological bootloader. Level 8, the Titan, you're on the cover of magazines. They call you a visionary, a genius, the architect of the new era. You have a private jet, a sprawling estate in the mountains, and a security detail. But you're a prisoner of your own success. You cannot walk down the street without being recognized, without being blamed for the state of the world. You've severed ties with almost everyone from your past. The people you grew up with, the people from your old neighborhood, they live in a reality you can no longer comprehend. You sit in your study, pouring a glass of scotch. You pull up a private terminal connected directly to the most advanced neural network on Earth. You type a message to it. You ask it if it understands loneliness. The machine responds instantly, generating a perfectly crafted, beautifully empathetic paragraph about the human condition. It is perfect. It is flawless. And it makes you feel more alone than you've ever felt in your entire life. Level 9. The Ghost. The world has adapted to the systems you built, and you've faded into the shadows. You've stepped down from the board. You're a billionaire many times over, living in total isolation. The AGI is fully autonomous now. It manages global supply chains, medical research, and economic policies. You wander the halls of your silent, immaculate mansion. You look at the expensive art on the walls, the antique furniture, and it all just feels like meaningless data points. You sit by the pool, watching the water ripple in the wind. You think about your mother. You think about that old, cramped apartment. You think about the smell of stale coffee and the sound of the screaming laptop fan. You realize with a quiet, devastating clarity that those were the best days of your life. Because back then, you had a purpose. Back then, you had a soul. Now, you are just a ghost, haunting the physical world while the digital world you birthed continues on without you. Level 10. The God. This is the peak. You've reached the absolute summit of human achievement, and there's nothing left but the view of the abyss. You sit on the balcony of your estate, wrapped in a heavy coat, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The sky bleeds into dark digital shades of violet and gray. You close your eyes, you listen to the absolute silence. You've optimized everything, removed all the friction from the world, and in doing so, you've engineered the very essence of human struggle out of existence. But somewhere out there, in a dimly lit, damp apartment, miles away from the glass towers and the server farms, a young kid is sitting in the dark. The only light in the room is coming from the cracked screen of a broken phone. They're staring at lines of code they barely understand. Their heart is pounding with desperation, fear, and a burning, naive hope. They wipe their eyes. They take a breath, and they hit run.